Hello everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet the downtown market bag. This is the fourth market bag in this wonderful, marvelous market bag crochet along. And if you haven't already, you can check out the first three patterns which are here on my channel. Each week we are making a new market bag. This is the downtown market bag. It is a thick, beautiful, striped pattern design featuring these unique looking triad stitches. The bag is worked from the bottom up to the handles, and it's all worked as one piece. So when we come up to the top, we will be working these continuous handles. The free written pattern can be found on my blog at richtexturescrochet.com. The direct link will be down in the description of this video, as well as direct links to some of the materials that we're using in this pattern. Today I'll be working with a 100% worsted weight yarn in two different colors. I'm using the Pima Cotton by Lion brand, and each of these balls has about 186 yards in it. You're going to need one of each color for the pattern. You're also going to need a 5mm crochet hook. And once again, the free written instructions are on my blog at richtexturescrochet.com. So thank you so much for joining me. And once again, please take a look around. There's lots of other market bag patterns and other different types of patterns here on this channel. It is updated weekly, so don't forget to subscribe. For our bag design today, we're starting down at the bottom. It's going to be worked in rounds, and it's a round shape down at the bottom, a circle shape. The finished bag measures approximately 16 by 14.5 inches when this bag is laid flat. So we're going to start by making a slip knot and then by chaining 4. In your chain 4, the last 3 chains will count as a double crochet stitch. You're then going to work 11 double crochet stitches into the 4th chain from your hook. Now, if you would like, you may start with a magic ring and then work 12 double crochet into your ring, but working it this way means that chain 3 counts as 1. So we're going to work 11 more double crochet stitches all into this 4th chain. So that should give me 12 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So 12 stitches, including that chain 3. Once you worked the 11 double crochet, then into your chain 3, you're going to join with a slip stitch just into the top. That brings you to the end of your round 1. For round 2, we're going to chain 3. Once again, this counts as a double crochet stitch and double crochet into the same stitch as joining. You're then going to work 2 double crochet stitches into the next stitch and into each stitch all the way around. When you come back to your first stitch, join into the top of that first stitch. At the end of this round, you'll have a total of 24 double crochet stitches. At the end of round 2, you're joining with a slip stitch into the top of your starting chain 3. For round 3, you're going to chain 3. It counts as a double crochet stitch. And into your next stitch, work 2 double crochet stitches. Work 1 double crochet into your next stitch, followed by 2 double crochet stitches into your next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around, 1 double crochet into your next stitch, followed by 2 double crochet in the next. Repeat that all the way around, join with a slip stitch into your first stitch. At the end of this round, you'll have a total of 36 stitches. For round 4, we're going to chain 3. That counts as a double crochet stitch, and double crochet into your next stitch. You're then going to work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Work 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And 2 double crochet into the next. You're going to repeat that all the way around, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, followed by 2 double crochet stitches into the next. When you come all the way around, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. For round 5, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet stitch, and double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And 2 double crochets into the next. You're going to repeat that all the way around, work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets into the next stitch. When you come all the way around, join with a slip stitch into the top of that starting chain 3. At the end of your round 5, you'll have a total of 60 stitches. For round 6, chain 3, and then double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. And then work 2 double crochets into your next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around, 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. When you come all the way around to your first stitch, join in the top. For round 7, chain 3, and double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Work 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. And work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around, work 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets into the next stitch. When you come to your first stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. At the end of this round, you will have a total of 84 stitches. For round 8, we're going to chain 3 and double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. Work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. We're now going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. And 2 double crochets into the next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around. 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets into the next stitch. When you come to your first stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top of that starting chain 3. At the end of this round, you'll have a total of 96 stitches. For round 9, chain 3, work 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. Work 2 double crochet into your next stitch. We're now going to work 1 double crochet stitch into each of the next 7 stitches. Followed by 2 double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around, 1 double crochet worked into each of the next 7 stitches, followed by 2 double crochet stitches worked into the next stitch, all the way around. When you come to your first chain 3, join with a slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. At the end of this round 9, you're going to have a total of 108 stitches. For round 10, chain 3 and work 1 double crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. Work 2 double crochets into your next stitch. Next, work 1 double crochet into each of the next 8 stitches. And 2 double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around. Work 1 double crochet into each of the next 8 stitches, followed by 2 double crochet stitches in your next stitch. When you come all the way around, join with a slip stitch into the top of that starting chain 3, which counts as a double crochet stitch, and at the end of this round you will have a total of 120 stitches. At the end of your round 10, you're joining with a slip stitch into the top of that starting chain 3. Now for the next 3 rounds, so rounds 11, 12, and 13, you're going to work 3 rounds of single crochet stitches. 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So chain 1, single crochet into that first stitch, and single crochet into each stitch all the way around. When you come to your first stitch, you're going to join with a slip stitch into that first stitch, chain 1, and repeat. You'll want to work a total of 3 rounds of single crochet stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and then meet me back here, and that will bring you to the end of your round 13. At the end of round 13, for your bag bottom, your piece will look like this when it's folded over. You'll have finished off with 3 rounds of single crochet stitches. You're then ready to begin the bag sides. So for round 1, we're going to chain 1, and we're simply going to work a half double crochet into the same stitches joining, and then a half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. When you come to your first stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Your chain stitch does not count as a stitch. At the end of this round, you'll have 120 stitches. For at the end of round 1, you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first stitch for your bag sides, and then chain 1. For round 2, we're going to work 1 half double crochet stitch, working in the 3rd loop of each stitch all the way around. So when you look at the front of your half double crochet stitches, you just see your top front loop. When you pull it forward and look at the back of your half double crochet stitches, you will see a loop that runs just along right under the back loop only of your stitch. So it's just a loop, it just runs along on the back of your half double crochet right below that back loop only. This is your third loop, and we're going to work in this stitch only. So yarn over, insert your hook under that third loop only, yarn over, drop a loop, and complete your half double crochet stitch. What it's going to do is it's going to push the top of your stitch forward. So into the next stitch, working in the third loop only, insert your hook and work a half double crochet stitch. You're going to do that all the way around. When you come to your first stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top, so into the top 2 loops of that first half double crochet stitch. At the end of round 2, you're going to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch, and I'm just joining into the top of that half double crochet. For round 3 of our bag sides, we're going to begin our first round of that textured stitch, which is called a Triad Stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and you can pull the chain up just a little bit higher if you'd like. We're then going to work our first Triad Stitch, and the Triad Stitch is worked over 3 stitches, each of the next 3 stitches, including that same one as joining. So to work the Triad Stitch, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, the same stitch as joining, yarn over and draw up a loop, and you want to pull your loop up fairly tall. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're then going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop. Again, pull it up fairly tall. The more you pull it up, the taller your stitch will be. You're then going to one more time yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop. You'll have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 6 of those loops. You then have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those final 2. That's your Triad Stitch. You're then going to chain 1. We're going to continue working Triad Stitches all the way around, this time beginning our Triad Stitch in the same stitch as the final leg of the last Triad Stitch. So to work your next one, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch as the last Triad Stitch, yarn over, and draw up a tall loop. Repeat that twice more in each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop. You're then going to yarn over and pull through the first 6 stitches, 2 stitches remaining, yarn over and pull through those 2 stitches. Chain 1 and repeat. Continue working Triad Stitches with a chain 1 in between each stitch all the way around, and when you come to your first stitch, you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first stitch. When you've come all the way around and you will have 1 stitch remaining, you're going to work your final Triad Stitch into that 1 stitch remaining and finish it into the same stitch as joining, so into the same one that you started with. Then pull through all 6 loops, pull through 2, chain 1, and then join with your slip stitch into the top of that first stitch. Now for round 4, you're going to chain 1 of your sides, and you're going to half double crochet into the top of each Triad Stitch and into each chain 1 space all the way around. So into the Triad Stitch, into the chain 1 space, all the way around, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. When you come all the way around at the end of your round 4, you're going to join with the slip stitch into that first stitch, and you can then fasten off your color A. You're then going to pick up your color B, and in that same stitch you're going to join your color B just with a slip stitch. For round 5, with our color B, we're going to work in the back loop only, chain 1, or sorry, in the third loop only, and we're going to half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So once again, find your third loop at the back of your stitch, working under that third loop only, half double crochet, and you're going to do that in each stitch all the way around, now working with your color B. When you come to your first stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Once you have finished round 5, you're then going to be all set to work the repeat in this pattern. So at this point you may want to grab the written pattern on richtexturescrochet.com, as I'm not going to crochet the rest of the repeats for this video. So what you're going to do, I will explain it to you though, you're going to continue working with your color B, and for the next 4 rounds with your color B, you're going to repeat your rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your round 2 started with another round of half double crochet in the third loop, and then your triad stitches and so forth. Once you come to your round 5, you're going to switch back to your color A, and then you're going to repeat that whole process once again. So once again, rounds 2 all the way through to 9. Repeat that once again. That'll give you one more repeat of your gray and your pink, or your color A and your color B. Then you're going to work 3 more rounds for rounds 18, 19, and 20 in your color A, repeating rounds 2, 3, and 4. So once again, head over if you need to help keep that straight to richtexturescrochet.com and grab the written pattern and work those repeats. That will bring you to the end of round 20, which is the end of the repeats for the body of the bag. We're going to pick up there in just a sec and work the top of the bag and the handles. At the end of your round 20, this is what your work should look like from the beginning. You're going to have 4 rounds of triad stitches in your color A and 3 rounds in your color B. You'll have ended off on a round 4, which was your half double crochet in each stitch and chain 1 space. You're now ready to begin the top and handles of the bag. So for round 1 of the top, we're going to start by chaining 1 and working a single crochet into the first stitch. Next, working in the third loop only, you're going to work 1 single crochet into each of the next 28 stitches. There's 15. 20. and 28. You're then going to single crochet, working in the top of your stitch under both loops into the next stitch. Next, we're going to work the first loop for our first handle. You're going to do that by chaining 40 chains, and you're going to want to keep these fairly loose because you will be working into them in the next round. Once you have chained 40, being careful not to twist your chain, you're going to skip the next 30 stitches and then into your next stitch work 1 single crochet. Then, just as you did before, working in the third loop only, single crochet into each of the next 28 stitches. Single crochet into your next stitch, working under both loops, and then work your second handle by chaining 40, once again remembering to keep them loose. There's 30. 40. You're then going to skip the next 30 stitches and simply join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. And this brings you to the end of your first round of your bag top and handles. Now for the rest of your bag top for rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so the next 5 rounds, you're going to chain 1, single crochet into the same stitch as joining, you're working under both loops, and then single crochet into each stitch all the way around. This includes each chain stitch, so across that chain you're going to work 40 single crochet stitches. So single crochet in each stitch, including the chain stitches all the way around, join with a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch, chain 1, and repeat. At the end of the round 2, you're going to have a total of 140 chains. So go ahead, work 5 rounds of single crochet stitches, fasten off, weave in your ends, and your downtown market bag is then complete. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, and once again, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, happy crocheting. Bye.